No, say something.
I'm about to say something so you can give me some volume so people on the interwebs can hear us on
Can
Facebook.
they hear us? Can they hear us?
Can they hear us on YouTube Live, baby?
Take your mask off. Maybe they can hear you.
I didn't hear me anyway, man, because I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that.
Oh, so you're just gonna do the mask production today?
Yes, I'm gonna be the mass Negro here with the Men of
So that's what we're doing. We're wearing masks today.
Yeah, that's very.
Just us two on the end, so you can. I did not want Rashawn to be kind of by himself.
Oh no.
You know what, Haven? That's just so.
So we're gonna do this. We're in solidarity. You mask up, Joe.
There we go. You know what? Because right now, I feel like Main Event Sports is going to be the social conscience. What is that? The
Tone setters.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. The tone setters for America.
That's right, baby. You know, Rob, bring us in.
All right. Are we live?
We're hot.
Yeah, go ahead and check
We're
it out on your
All right.
laptop.
Let me check it. Let's make sure we are live.
Okay. Put my mask under my glasses. Make sure I didn't get it all.
Let's make sure we in
Every
here.
time I breathe.
All right, you make sure in here everything looks.
Oh, we in here. All right. So there we go. And welcome into the Main Event Sports Show. Main Event Sports pregame show is going down the last football game of the year, fellas.
Well, at least for the University of Louisville was the last football game of the year.
Well, for the University of Louisville, this is the last football game of the year. Because anybody who's out there, of course, Louisville's going to be taking on the most hated Wake Forest Demon Deacons today, which I still love that nickname. I always love the Demon Deacons. Great nickname. This will be their last game. Anybody who's thinking that they're going to a bowl game, that ain't going to happen. So I just want to let you all know that right now. And depending upon whether or not this Louisville team wins today or not, I think is going to determine what folks actually want to do with the rest of their football viewing for the rest of this year for the Cardinals. So
If you want to kick the tires around on a couch, I got one.
You know what?
Uh-oh.
First of all, let's just go ahead and dispense with the pleasantries, fellas. Of course, being joined by the architect himself, Haven Harrington, the Imperial Real Rail, the lyrical genius
Thank you,
that
sir.
is,
Thank you,
and
sir.
of course, our main man Joe Kelly at That's Boys Good on Twitter,
Indeed.
the stuff starter extraordinaire. I don't want to say the other word, but you know what the other S word is. But we are here at the palatial restaurant that is FDKY Barbecue, 9602.
9606.
9606 Taylorsville Road. Thank you very much, Joe. Come out and get your wings, get your ribs, get your brisket.
Call ahead, though.
The pulled chicken is absolutely amazing. And we are here to discuss a football game, yes, but more so, I feel like this show is going to be more about the head man, the head coach of the University of Louisville, Scott Satterfield. We have not gotten together since all the craziness that happened.
Scott's sad as hell.
So
I'm not a Seinfeld fan, however, I do appreciate the Festivus episode. And
Absolutely.
that's around this time, so we get to have an airing of grievances this holiday season.
that's what we're going to do. And you know what? As the leader, the architect, the originator of the Main Event Sports Show, Haven Harrington, I'm going to let you have the first word on this about anywhere you want to go with Scott Satterfield. I'm just going to play off you, and then we'll cover the myriad of different things. But just Scott Satterfield. I'm going to say that name and just go.
Howdy doody. That's the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of Scott Satterfield. It's howdy doody. The guy with the, oh, shucks, I didn't mean to do this.
How did I do that?
You know, I think it was when this whole thing first unfolded and we saw the slow train wreck that was his first denying that he had any interest in going to South Carolina. Then all the reports came out that, yes, he did, in fact, interview for the job in Bowling Green for South Carolina. Then he had a press conference afterwards and said, I'm staying. Everybody came out and said that he was staying. It was kind of obvious from his answers in the press conference that he probably did not tell his athletic director that he was going to interview.
You think?
with South Carolina.
You definitely know he didn't.
But to me, the biggest transgression of this whole thing was, and maybe this is a refreshing, maybe this is Scott Satterfield just being too honest. But he pretty much said in that press conference the only reason he really interviewed for South Carolina was because it's close to home, it's close to his family. And then he pretty much basically said if another job in the Carolinas opened up, I'm going to listen. Now, any place else outside of Carolinas, I'm not going to listen because he said, I got overtures last year, I didn't even pay attention to them. But if something's opened up, if something ever opens up in South Carolina, North Carolina, I'm going to listen. And let's be honest, what he's pretty much saying is Mac is old at North Carolina. He only has maybe about 3-4 more years left in him, then he's going to retire for good. And he's already putting a shot in saying, hey,
if you guys need me, I'm here.
I'm here for you. As soon as Mac's gone, that's my dream job. North Carolina, a team that has never won nothing in football. That football program is, compared versus Louisville, the football program is a nothing. And I don't mean to downplay our Argyle-wearing powder blue brethren. But
gotta love the powder blue Argyle.
I know, right? But
better record than Louisville.
This year, but for the past 30 years.
Let's not get into the Louisville football versus UNC football debate.
Yeah, because
we can win now.
Please.
Y'all would win that much.
Honestly,
can't win the game today though.
No, we can win the game. But the history of the program, they can't touch us. Matter of fact, South Carolina can't touch us. If you look at the past 30 years of football history, we're a much better program in South Carolina. People can say, well, they got more resources. And what have they done with those resources? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The best they have ever been is fourth, maybe even third in SEC East. Not the entire SEC, just the SEC East. No, we have conference championships in 3 different leagues. We have 3 BCS bowl wins. We've done things that South Carolina has never done, like blow out Florida. It's like no. That's like a lateral move at best.
No, I think that's fair, and I think that's what it comes back to, and I believe that there's been a lot of conversation about, just how bad the South Carolina job is. We know that the University of Louisville is never going to be Michigan. They're never going to be Notre Dame. They're never going to be Florida State. They're never going to be some of these mega powers. But they are a multiple-time BCS winning program, a program that should not have to deal with that, with the coach, looking to go. People want to say it was a lateral move. That's a downgrade. That's a demotion. And when you have your head coach literally say, there was nothing that interested me about that job except for where it was.
You are a multi-millionaire.
First of all, Scott Satterfield, the first thing I'm going to say to you, I'm going to look you straight in the eye because I know you watch the Main Event Sports pregame show to get your motivation for the week. The thing I'm going to say to you, first of all, is you knew where Louisville was before you took the job.
We're not hard to find on the
So, I don't buy the whole, it's closer to home, so I want to get back. There are things about this job I think that Scott Satterfield doesn't like. I don't think he likes the area. I don't think he likes the
players he got.
No, I don't think it's about the players. I think it's more about stuff off the field.
Yeah, so that's
my man.
Oh man, this is the show I would address this on, if any. I'm gonna pick my words here carefully so I don't just blow up on the guy. I think he was put in an awkward situation from a guy from Boone, Carolina, and that is the civil unrest downtown in Louisville that's been going on this past year. I don't think that's something that a lot of people are comfortable speaking on. A lot of people in a situation like Satterfield's. Now, that's not excusing it at all, and if anything, that makes me want to get him up out of here. If you're not willing to be part of the change that this city needs from a standpoint of leadership, like the representative of the football program, then by all means, let's make this a clean breakup. Go focus on coaching football. Let's get somebody in here who can multitask and can actually understand the situation that he's put in and what an opportunity that situation could be for the head coach of the university.
But
he could make a great name for himself this past year.
He has to look at it, Joe. He's the kind of coach that keeps his head down.
And absolutely, and that's why I'm saying I can't blame him.
You know what I'm saying? He's used to. I don't want to be in the spotlight. I just want to focus on football.
Exactly.
That's his whole MO. So for him to step out of his character would really be.
He's not equipped for the job, is what I'm saying. This isn't a good fit for him. So if that's the case, then this makes you unhappy.
If they're looking for him to be a stand-up guy, then yeah, from that standpoint, definitely this is not for him.
The other thing that tells me that this guy needs to go back to Mayberry, he's not built for life here. That comment about family.
Division 2.
Well, the comment that he made about coaches have family, players don't. That is such a moronic statement to make for a multitude of reasons.
Yes.
None more so than the fact that he's got players on the current roster that grew up on that campus with their dad playing football, getting babysat in between classes. Those are kids that have been recruited here. Josh Minkins. You know what I mean? Like
beyond
that, Joe, we have kids on this team that have children. It's not that uncommon, Coach, for college students to have children.
Beyond that, you got players on this team who got families on the front line of these protests.
Exactly. So there's a lot to that comment.
That's where the bigger thing comes in at. From a coaching standpoint, he should have been a motivator to his players. And it looked like at a moment when he was supposed to be a motivator, he dropped the ball. He dropped the ball, and it shows and it reflects in the season that his players have had this season.
He's just not good at the political side of being a coach, and that's the problem with coaching at Power 5.
Don't look like he's good at the coaching side either. Look at
I mean, the team has been decent outside of the turnovers. I mean, I don't like woulda, shoulda, coulda, but you take the turnovers
what's
out.
The record, Joe?
What's the record is what the record is.
What's the record, Joe?
Is what the record
3-7 right now.
3, and I can't count that high. I've run out of fingers.
Okay, so yeah, they are the Dallas Cowboys of college football.
That's fair. And you know what? And I look at it like this, okay? Did he make a mistake? Yes. Did he compound on the mistake by speaking his mind at the press conference? Like, absolutely. Like, he doesn't understand how to play the political
Another
game.
victim of 2020 getting people to say the quiet stuff out loud.
You know? Like, it's one of those things. So
he's been a sniper. Just
another one bites the dust.
The first thing I'm going to ask, everybody wanted to make good, make happy, and act. And I'm going to say act like that letter that was pinned to the U of L Alumni Association Scott Satterfield wrote. He didn't write that. Like, everybody trying to say, now the coach has come out and said this, is everybody happy now? Coach didn't write that. I would put dollars to donuts he didn't write that. But it was something put out there to ease the fans, to apologize, and do what he needed to do from a public perspective to move forward. My question is, for everybody here at the table, is everybody okay with that and willing to move forward and change the nature of this relationship to you win games, you can stay? I feel like Coach Satterfield went from a position where he was a coach that was beloved and uplifted to where now it's more of a Bobby Petrino situation when he came back, to where you be a good coach, you win games, and we'll just stay out of each other's way.
Well, I think what you see now is that this has become a transactional relationship.
Yes.
This is a very transactional relationship now between the Louisville fan base and their head coach, Scott Satterfield. And it's exactly what you said. You win games, we'll come out and watch the players play, and yeah, that's it.
Do you notice there's like 3 hoodies today sitting at the table? I feel like everybody came in and then,
the war, baby. It's Wake Forest.
He's got the mean mug Kobe on his shirt. I love it, you know what I'm saying? With all those that have passed, I love it. It's beautiful. I feel like everybody came in with that ready to fight a little bit. Like, I feel that. I feel that from everybody. Everybody's got a little bit of angst.
Well, you know, it's just like, so like, with this whole thing, and understand that they had a PR blitz with all the players tweeting how much they love Scott Satterfield. They all came out in unison.
Do you think that was done by the school? Like, to have those guys go out there and do that?
Well, yes, I do.
It was definitely a coerced situation.
I'm not say it was coerced. I would say that it was
a definite
strongly advised
situation.
I would say that it was encouraged for them to come out there and put their support behind. Because let's be honest, if you are on any message board, I mean, like, if it was on any message board, whether it was like about Louisville sports, the fan base was done.
Well, and I'm not going to throw any of our players under the bus, but it's kind of, I'll tell you, you'll really know everything you need to know if you go look through certain fifth-year seniors and seniors that are definitely not coming back and what tweets they were liking this week. Because I was getting those jokes off on set. And every time I would update it, I'd be like, whoo, there's another senior who's not supporting the coach. So it's one thing when you got a bunch of sophomores and juniors coming out saying, we love this guy. Well, of course, because you're stuck with him. To your point, it's transactional now. We have elevated to the point in the marriage where we are sleeping in separate beds. So
it's like the 1950s. Everybody has that. You're sitting in the same room, but you got separate beds.
Yeah. So let me ask you guys. If Satterfield doesn't win next season, do you all feel he'll still be here?
I will, unless he gets another job. Like, Louisville can't afford to fire anybody right now.
We're broke.
Like, you got to understand, they're already paying 2 other coaches that aren't coaching here to coach. But basically, like, they still have 2 other coaches on the
and an AD,
and an athletic director that they have to pay. So
basically, they got to suffer through this malarkey.
The worst thing that happened, and I tweeted this out. I said the worst thing that happened was, this situation happened. Because Satterfield was never going to get the job. To me, Frank Beamer's son seemed to be the odds-on favorite all along. South Carolina wanted to kick the tires on Scott Satterfield and, at least cover their bases. But I don't think he was ever a favorite to land that job. And Satterfield ended up falling into their game, as well as his agent's game, to go out there and try to get more money, and completely burned every bridge he had.
I'm going to tell you how it went in South Carolina. Well, he's a hometown boy. Let's bring him in and see what he's got to say. But at the end of the day, if he can't do it in Louisville, he damn sure is not going to do it here.
I mean, you just can't. You can't put yourself into that situation, especially coming off of a 3-7 season.
Yeah.
They could easily be 3-8 today, unless you're getting that job.
If you were 7-3.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would have been a different story.
Nobody be upset. That's the only thing, and I want to be clear. I'm not upset. This is the internet me. I'm not mad. I'm laughing. No, but for real, because it's absurd to me. If this were any other year but 2020, I'd say no way. But this is just par for the course now.
It is.
3-win season going into Thanksgiving, and you're out here trying to strong arm a pay raise with a butter knife. What kind of fool is
that ain't
this?
even a butter knife. He got a plastic one from
That's
the
what
back.
I'm saying.
He got a spork.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah. I mean, this is after the athletic department had to furlough staff and cut wages in order to make sure everybody still had a job and they can kind of keep things going.
It was just completely toned down.
It was horrible, but to all the Louisville fans out there right now who are listening to our pregame show, take heart. And I know a lot of people got on me about making this comparison because they were like, how can you compare the University of Louisville to the greatness that is the University of Miami?
And Haven, I just got to give a shout out. Katie Walsh-Nooner. Yes, ma'am, this is a Holy Cross mask. My son is a freshman at Holy Cross. Go Cougs. So there we go.
So,
and she sent the question in.
I see it.
And all questions on the Facebook feed. You guys get your questions out, your thoughts on Scott Satterfield. Anything at all. We want to address all of that. Absolutely.
Right. So, a lot of people got mad when I was like, hey, well, you can't compare the University of Louisville to the University of Miami. You just can't do it. I mean, that's Miami. That's one of these storied, schools in all of college football history.
Polishing the knob much.
But it's true. I mean,
I heard no lies. None.
I mean, throughout the 2000s, they were the most dominant college football team for a decade.
Okay, stop rubbing it in about your team. No one really cares.
They also invented swag.
Yes, they did invent swag. But more importantly,
they did that.
Outside
they didn't win a championship nationally, though.
But I would say this like outside of their natural recruiting grounds, Miami, which is just insane with talent, which makes their.
I would say that's the one thing that's a little bit different about the Louisville job compared to the Miami job.
That's probably Vic's most important thing. But what I was getting at is that Miami won all their championships with different head coaches.
Absolutely,
they never had a head coach stay longer than 5 years.
But you're talking about a recruiting area called Florida. The state of Florida has the most
talented
but to that
football
point,
players.
They can't keep a coach.
Yeah, they can't keep a coach.
They can't keep a coach.
They're a stepping stone. That's the thing.
The one thing that
they're
they
a stepping
have is
stone.
athletes but they don't have the proper system
for the thing is, but they're still a stepping stone college. Nobody has stayed at Miami.
Absolutely. Right.
Nobody has called Miami home forever. And even in their glory years,
Long State coach I've really
in their glory years, they couldn't keep a coach.
Nick Saban.
Well, the problem is Scott Satterfield has to understand.
He's only the Long State, Nick Saban.
Everybody has things that they think in their head that they don't say out loud. There's a thing called the political game. There's a thing called being a good statesman. When you are a head football coach, you're not only the coach of those players, but you're a CEO. You're the face of your company, your franchise, if you will.
Exactly.
So you have to go out and play the game. And Scott Satterfield's not playing the game because he's trying to do this whole Dabo, all shucks, G. Willikers thing. And, I'm just a country boy that's just saying what's on my mind. You can't do that at a Louisville. You may be able to do that at Appalachian State, but unfortunately, you can't do that because, you even had Jay Billis, who doesn't do anything with college football at all, coming out and just destroying Scott Satterfield.
Yeah, what are you doing?
For his commentary. You can't do that. And I don't know. I don't want to say that the job is too big for Scott Satterfield because I do think he's a good football coach. But he's going to have to, A, grow up, and B, understand that what you say matters. And the players, I give them all the credit in the world. Satterfield has done a great job creating culture within that program because those kids have not quit. They have his back. And all of the recruits that look to be signing early all still look like they're still going to sign. So that's a testament to how good Scott is connecting with his players. But what he has to understand is you have got to connect with the fan base. You have got to do the interviews. You've got to connect with the people that you can't touch and feel and see every day because that's just as important. And he forgot about that, and hopefully this is a learning lesson.
No, I'm going to say this. I don't think he forgot about that. Honestly, what I think this is a microcosm like the state of Kentucky with the whole urban and rural divide. This is like hiring a coach from Pike County to come coach in the big city of Louisville, Kentucky.
That's true.
And now he's like buildings over 6 feet tall. What? Paved streets and roads.
Hey, by the way, Rail, Just Coy said she likes your shirt. So, you can show it off for the people if you want to. They like that with Chadwick Boseman,
Nipsey
Hussle, and the great one himself, Kobe Bean Bryant.
Mamba mentality.
The third best Lake of all time.
Thank you, by the way.
Hey, no, don't start with me. That's another show. That's the summer show.
Third best Lake of all time.
That's the summer show.
Talking about the rural versus city, divide and what that's like.
Joe. And actually, this is my own brand here. This is my Pure Facts brand. This is my Pure Facts clothing brand. If you need a shirt, you can always inbox me at Imperial Rail Rail. Inbox me your size, and I'll give you the pricing from there.
There it is.
We got you.
Love it.
Love it.
But I think there is something to that. And remember, I used to laugh at it because it drove Drew Diener crazy. And at the time, I didn't know how much of it was him kind of hamming it up as a story. But now I'm starting to believe it when he said, yeah, I took the job before I ever visited. And the first thing a bunch of my friends that came here from Florida to go to school said when they got here, they were like, we thought it was going to be barns and horses, man. And we got to Louisville, we were like, oh, it's like a smaller, big city. Cool, this is nice. You get all the quaint country, if you want to go out in that area of the county. And you also get pavement and lights, which is nice.
Exactly.
Some people don't like pavement and lights. I can tell you as somebody who grew up outside the Gene Snyder. And I'll make this brief. When I got married 5 years ago, I had friends of mine that I've known since childhood. They were like, what's your address, man? I'll send you a check, but I don't come to Louisville. And I said, why not? I don't want to get don't get me started. I said, you know what? Coding. We're not going to go there. Cool. Here's the address. Send me the check, and then lose that address.
There you go.
That's real.
It is.
But there are people that feel that way. And that's what I was talking about with Breonna Taylor and the protesting downtown. Hey, man, for a lot of people, and this is not an excuse, but for a lot of people, that is very unsettling and very uncomfortable, and they look at it like, what in the hell did I get myself into?
And I know a lot of people
I was
like
going to
that.
come here and win some football games for a couple of years and then go home to Carolina, and it was going to be great. And now I'm out here, I got to do non-football stuff, and I'm not really comfortable doing that. And that's why I say if that's the case, just go.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how if you're a high school coach. I don't care from the fan standpoint. Other fans can get mad. I know I don't matter in the universe, not in the grand scheme of U of L football. But if you're a high school coach right now and Scott Satterfield comes to recruit your kid, you have got to be honest with that kid and say, look, the odds are not strong when you enroll at school that the same person who recruited you will be there when you graduate. That's just not how the game goes. But this dude will definitely not be there in 2 years because he's either going to win games and get a job promotion or he's going to lose games and get run out of town. He said it. He said that.
So listen, he's going to win games in Louisville, and if he wins games here in Louisville, guess what's going to happen? They're going to pay Satterfield what he wants.
I agree with that.
The one thing that I realize about Louisville as a whole, whether it be basketball or football, if you start winning, anything you've done before that becomes null and void.
Do you mean with the school or with the fan base?
Pick one.
Because it was an old regime before. Like this is the first time that Vince has had a all right, what do I do moment.
Yeah, I mean the thing is like we can't pay him.
Both. To me, it's both.
Okay. But the problem is like we can't pay him. Number one. Number two, with Scott Satterfield, I don't think it's about money. I think it has zero to do about how much money he's making. This is all about. I'm a small town North Carolina guy, and I would like to be back in small town Carolina someplace.
But fellas, I'm gonna say this. I don't say all this about Scott Satterfield to condemn him. I don't say it all about him because I don't like him or that I don't want him to be the head coach at the University of Louisville.
He was my pick as head coach.
Absolutely. What's going to be interesting to see what happens now is I feel like there's a blank slate in front of us. Nobody has any more aspersions of grandeur of this guy. Nobody thinks he's the greatest guy going. But Scott Satterfield also is going to have to do some internal searching because the one thing I've learned about Louisville is that a lot of people come to Louisville, they may like it, they may not like it, but Louisville has a tendency to get inside of it. And once you've been here for a while, it starts to grow on you. So, you know, it can be one of those things where Scott Satterfield, he can change. I mean, he literally can change. We could be looking 4 or 5 years down the line and be like, man, you remember when all that happened and how things have turned around and he's still there? That can happen.
It can happen. Right there. Only if he's winning.
If he starts winning, everything's going to erase. They're going to forget it. The school is going to pay him what he wants. The fan base is going to talk about how great Satterfield is as a coach.
And my man Barry Swanson just wants him to go.
Hey, he said he liked the "just go" comment from Joe. I mean,
Barry Swanson's like, "Just go."
I think there's a lot of people like that.
That's not. There is no animosity in my heart when I say that. I'm saying let's look at this for what it is. Now, like you said, if he goes out and he starts winning games, and to your point about all is forgiven, I'll tell you exactly how to be forgiven because I already know how I'll start backtracking. All my comments back.
8 more wins next year. 8 more
It'll
wins.
be, look, man, 2020 was a weird year. We all were dealing with COVID. Divorce rates were high. People were looking for all these quick fixes. You know, and the dude thought maybe going closer to home would be peace of
COVID
mind.
cases was going on.
You know, but I'll never quite get over the excuse of I've only seen my parents once during COVID when you could easily get a private jet. You could get a car and drive down there and quarantine.
They got Zoom. You can Zoom.
You could Zoom. But because you haven't seen them.
Zoom.
But
the dude's got a private plane.
Yeah. Yes, he has access to a private jet.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he can do that in 30 minutes.
Yeah. You could make that happen. So instead, you drove to Bowling Green to meet a guy and then possibly cross-contaminate with the virus. And I mean, like, if you're so worried about COVID.
Absolutely.
And you know what? Cracker Barrel and Bowling Green.
And before I get to this question on the Facebook feed, I just want to say this. Louisville is either on you or in you. Right now, Louisville's kind of on Scott Satterfield. It's weighing him down. But you wonder, is he going to continue to feel like Louisville's on him or it gets into him? And how that happens, I think, is going to determine how long he has this job and he's the head coach of the University of Louisville. But Donnell Barber asks, he says, how many folks think Saturdays are going to turn into Saturdays? Sadderdays. He said, do we need a new coach? Should we still back him? I don't think so. So, I mean, I think a lot of people have jumped off the Satterfield train.
The bandwagon's empty.
You know, like I have not gotten a lot of pushback on that.
There's still a few people holding on to the back of the buggy, but, you know.
It's the quickest heel turn I can think of since Draymond Green and the Golden State Warriors. Remember how it was like everybody loved the plucky Warriors, and then Draymond he kicked one too many dudes in the paint, and we were like, nope,
we're done.
Can't play with y'all, man. Y'all play dirty pool.
when Hulk Hogan turned on Rowdy Roddy Piper and was unmasked to be the leader of the NWO, that's when it all changed.
Listen, Draymond Green, for your information, Draymond Green was channeling his inner Dennis Rodman.
Hey, man.
Okay.
I wasn't mad.
Well, Dennis Rodman would never use his foot.
But I will say this.
He used his knee.
To answer Danelle's
But
question, regardless, I don't think that even if we wanted to have a new coach, Louisville can't afford a new coach. So this is going to be a relationship. This is a shotgun wedding at this point.
You're saying
You're going to be here.
You got my daughter
So
pregnant.
you're saying right now that Louisville's like on the waiting list for housing assistance or something?
Hey, you're here. You're here. So unless he gets another job and the school coming in pays that buyout, that's the only way we're getting out of this situation. So everybody might as well get used to Scott Satterfield being the coach until another job comes and swoops him up.
And speaking of getting
to
used to
answer
Scott
your
Satterfield's
question, that
coach.
means it's going to be sadder days ahead.
So, talk about Scott Satterfield's coach. Let's talk about this game today. Wake Forest, University of Louisville. To me, this game comes down to one thing and one thing only. Wake Forest does not turn the ball over. Instead, they get turnovers. They lead the nation in causing turnovers. Louisville loves to turn the ball over.
Louisville's tied for the most turnovers in the nation.
We're elite at giving up the rock.
So guess what?
The
You
elite.
don't even have to ask me. I'm going to give you mine right now. My prediction is Louisville's going to lose. I don't even care what the score is. Louisville's going to lose. That's my prediction.
This is like the unstoppable force versus the very movable
Versus a cart with wheels.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, my
Great
baby,
stuff.
That is hilarious.
my baby, she's a Louisville fan. I'm probably going to hear it later. But guess what? They're going to lose.
Yeah,
I think we'll see a lot, though, as far as where the players are with this in regards to the staff. Like,
Well, the number one wide receiver is not going to play today. Tutu Atwell
so
decided.
20 targets for Dez on senior day. Do it.
Tutu.
Tutu Atwell. Tutu Atwell decided he's going to.
He's going to join your boy
He's
and get
gonna
ready
opt
for
out.
the draft.
So I'm trying to phrase it the way.
And he signed with Drew Rosenhaus.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Well, yeah.
Drew getting all of them, man. He's
Yeah.
trying to get it
But the thing
in.
is, so I was trying to phrase it the way that some of the backers of the university phrased it when he said he didn't quit on the team. He wanted to be there if he could, but he opted out for the
A
NFL draft.
lingering
And
issue.
He has been dealing with the injury. He's only played about a half of football the last 2 games because of a nagging injury. They haven't said what
Hey,
he's
he's been
hurt,
toe up since he hit
but
since he hit that wall.
since he ran into the
When he hit
fans.
those bleachers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has been dealing with nagging injuries. So for Tutu, this is not a situation where he doesn't want to play. He has played, like I said, about a half of football the last 2 games. I wouldn't play either, especially because
No.
it's a lame duck game.
And you have money on the line.
He's injured.
You have money on the line. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
You have money on the line.
So this is a little different than the Javian Hawkins situation. Javian Hawkins was 100% healthy.
If he's
in
smart,
his
he'll
bounce.
go ahead and bet against his team.
So,
Man, I don't need this.
Now, what's I telling you? Best player decides to play.
but you know what? The guy who I feel like has not gotten enough love, but has started to really build some momentum over the last couple of weeks, Des Fitzpatrick is going to play. And he's going to get a lot of targets today, and I think he's going to have a good day. Now, does that mean they're going to win?
No.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
so
I'm interested to see what the offense looks like
you're
without
saying, basically you're
it's
saying
going to be
that,
interesting.
basically you're saying it's like LeVar's last child. So basically, Dez is like the LiAngelo Ball of the family.
That's
No.
No, he's
No, because his younger brother's on the team.
he's at least LaMelo.
Yeah, he's at least
This
LaMelo
LaMelo ball.
Hey, he's at least LaMelo.
He's LiAngelo right now.
Because
You gotta realize the older brother already left.
no, that's real
That
talk.
was Javian Hawkins. He
That's
went
true.
on and went about his business.
That's true.
Now
That's
you
true.
got LaMelo said, "I'm sitting out."
But like
Now,
this, let's all keep
still
it
got
real.
LiAngelo.
The only reason the Detroit Pistons signed LiAngelo Ball to that non-guaranteed contract was because his last name was Ball. He's not going to make the regular season roster.
You would
Probably-
be surprised.
He
That's
might
not
not.
gonna happen.
He might not.
But-
But everybody who dragged their dad, y'all can just sit on it.
That's true.
Because he put 3 sons in the NBA, and y'all called him
And
crazy.
he meant he was going to do it.
And you know what's kind of
His dream
I'm
come
very
true.
fascinated.
But no,
Yeah,
how
you
media handles
know what the
Mr. Ball.
greatest part about that was? All that shit he talked, family was backed up.
What kills me about
Yeah,
the
it
coverage?
was.
What is just absolutely befuddled me about the coverage of senior ball is that this
Let's
dude
say his name with
unapologetically loves his sons.
He knew
How's
he
that a
had,
bad
he
thing?
knew he had great kids.
Absolutely.
And he's honestly, like, in what world is it bad to love
and you
your
know
kids?
what?
But
Let me
every
tell
dad should
y'all
be as
though.
proud of
This,
his.
this man loved his kids so much. He started a weak third-generation league to showcase his son's talent.
Hey, you know what?
Call that Michael Jordan.
And
That's
look
love.
And look what it did, though. It got them all where they needed to be. And then here's the greatest part of it all. Like he said,
He got a reality
the
show out
best
of it.
one of my sons is going to be LaMelo.
Yeah,
LaMelo is the best ball player out of all my sons.
that's what he said.
And here's how you know a rich kid got in the NBA. He went and spent his whole entire advancement check on diamond teeth.
Yeah, I saw
Diamond teeth.
Yeah.
I was
that.
like,
He had a full diamond grill.
now that's how you floss right there.
That's
Now, he said he's going to play games with it in.
oh Jesus.
I said, now that's
He's in
gangster
Charlotte.
right there.
He's in Charlotte, man. You know, hanging out with baby. You got to keep
I
that.
mean,
Now, if it was Memphis, I can understand. But not Charlotte. If it was Memphis, I would get it.
MJ, he be like, man, I'm here to
Oh,
learn
God.
from the GOAT.
I don't know. LaMelo could be like little Debo down in Charlotte. I don't know. He'd look like a snack in Memphis walking around. Those teeth.
If he was Memphis, they start saying,
look.
they start saying
Out of
mean all the time.
Memphis, he'd
Hey,
be a
man.
lick. Them boys would be like, wait till this nigga live like that.
Hey,
The
you
whooping
better
trick
watch how
all-stars
you talk
just
to
eyeballing him.
You be outside, you go out there, and all you see is your guy and his homies like, hey.
Hey,
You see him leave the club in Memphis, and you get flashbacks seeing those injured gazelles on National Geographic.
Hey, let me tell you something. That is what I love
Be
about the
just
Main
like the
Sports Show
Rodney
because
King incident.
just devolved.
our tangents are legendary. Because we went from a Des Fitzpatrick conversation into a full ball breakdown. That is outstanding.
But maybe we'll get to see LeVar Jordan go one-on-one.
Oh, I would love it.
Hey,
I would love that.
how do y'all feel, to change the subject a little bit, how do
Yes.
y'all feel about Mr. Mayweather coming out of retirement to fight Jake Paul?
You know what? Jake Paul has got more
Got more love off of knocking out
Nate Robinson, man.
No, what kills the best about that whole fight were the memes that immediately
The
following.
memes that followed, they had
I
them
mean,
set
like,
up
from
ready
the second he
before.
got knocked out, they had all
They
of
was coming.
I'm just going to tell everybody out there, Jake Paul is not a real boxer. My son has gotten into this thing of thinking that Jake Paul is like some great knockout artist boxer. Just because you knocked off a basketball
Who
player
never fought.
that's been in a
I was
jazzercise
running at
class,
your head first.
doing Tae-Bo for a couple weeks, doesn't mean you're an actual
He
boxer.
took 6 kickboxing lessons.
Come on, man. Like, Jake Paul, please don't get in the ring
He
with
went in
Mayweather.
there and hit
please.
the heavy bag, and they said, "You ready, Nate?"
Oh, God.
I'm trying right down
Now, I have heard that
Go
Artest, Jake Paul and Artest
You
are
ready,
looking at
Nate? You
try
got
to
it.
Now
You got
that
it.
I would pay to watch.
Didn't y'all hear about Fight Club?
No,
I don't know
What
who
would you
started
pay-
it,
what
but
did you go pay
because
to
the
watch?
internet was screaming, "We need Snoop Dogg
I missed. What would you say you
commenting
pay to
on
watch?
boxing matches."
Ron
He signed a
Artest,
deal. I heard it on the
Jake
radio
Paul.
yesterday.
Ron
Really?
Artest and Jake Paul.
Snoop Dogg has signed a deal with an entertainment company. I think Jake Paul might have a hand in it. They're going to put together its celebrity fight club. So be careful out there if you're talking slick about other rappers, if you're talking slick about other entertainers, because now Snoop could be all like,
Hey,
what?
well,
So-
I'm
so
going to tell Jake
versus-
Paul this. You're not. You may knock out Nate Robinson. You don't want no parts of Ron Artest because Ron Artest is two things: A, he has old man strength, and B, he's crazy. And you know crazy people. are
Certified.
strong.
No,
he's old
legitimately.
and crazy.
He's certain.
He don't want
He
this problem.
named his
And
therapist
he's
after
6'8".
winning the finals. And he's from Queensbridge.
And you
No.
do not want any one part of them problems.
Here's a weird scenario.
Nate Robinson's from Seattle, bro.
Just imagine if Jake Paul knocks out Floyd Mayweather.
No. That
But
never
just
happened.
imagine if he
No
does.
one's ever hit Floyd.
You gotta hit him first.
Like,
That's
much
the
less
crazy
KO'd
thing.
him.
Like,
Floyd Mayweather had to carry Conor McGregor to the end of his fight.
Literally carry Conor McGregor.
Literally.
but I'm just
'Cause
saying,
Conor was
like,
done.
Floyd might not even take him serious.
No, because I feel like
He doesn't
Jake
have to
Paul,
take him
because he
seriously.
done knocked out little
Floyd
bitty Nate
get
Robinson,
his-
would try to come out and actually try to fight Floyd.
And get not and
and
get
get
slapped.
knocked
Get
out
slapped
in like
real
20
quick.
seconds.
It's smelt. Just
Get slapped
I
real
know.
quick.
Somebody asked Floyd, they said, Floyd, are you doing this because you felt that he was being racist?
He would do him like the Great White Hype. You trying to embarrass me on TV?
Floyd is going to hit him so hard that boy just blinks a couple times and asks his trainer, "Who turned the lights out momentarily?
Yeah.
You know what?
Do we have a power outage?"
No, the-
Like,
make
who
it
talked
worse.
you into signing this fight with Floyd?
I'm going back to Cleveland.
His
making
accountant
rock
talked him
music.
into it.
Man, you guys got me messed up. I'm not getting in the ring with Floyd. Call Connor.
Now, Katie, I do agree with this. She said Jake Paul would get knocked out just to make millions for the fight and even more millions for YouTube fame. He knows he doesn't have a chance. Absolutely.
Of course there's a chance.
If you're Floyd and you're Jake Paul, if people are willing to pay pay-per-view for that.
Oh yeah. But
here's, and guess what? It's going to be a $75 pay-per-view, I guarantee.
And if that was like an endeavor that one of y'all, any of my friends wanted to get involved in, I'd be like, yes, this is true. You can get millions of dollars, and millions of dollars can buy you like a Sea-Doo and a house and fun stuff. But it is not going to fix that CTE.
Hey,
no, it is not going to.
The NFL Hall of Fame is proof. There is no fixing it.
Yeah, for real.
You don't want to take too many of them.
Once the potatoes get mashed, man, you can't put them back. Yeah.
And to speak to that, if you want proof of this, go to YouTube and watch Leonard Spink's interviews at the beginning of his career and then watch his interviews before he retires. It is not the same dude talking.
And if you want to see people on their CTE journey, go to livesportscaster.com, where yours truly, as well as H the Izzo over here, Haven Harrington, we're on the call for Future Promotions Saturday night fights this past Saturday at the African American Heritage Center. Check it out, livesportscaster.com. You can go there, see the whole fight commentary, see my ring announcing debut.
No one cares.
Nice. So absolutely, it was great.
I'm going to be an on-air hater. I don't care.
Spoiler alert:
we weren't
a lot of knockouts. A whole lot of knockouts.
A lot of knockouts.
No one cares.
Hey man, good for you all. Like that is one thing that I've always thought would be a lot of fun, but I would get fired immediately.
So you were actually in the ring announcing?
I was doing the ring announcing. I was not in the ring because I was double dipping.
Yes.
I was ring announcing as well as doing the color commentary. So I was at the DJ booth half the time and then behind the microphone.
Multitasking. So what was he doing?
I announced and did all the interviews.
He did all the interviews, and he was
your correspondent.
He was the lead.
He was your correspondent.
He was the man.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, all right. Okay.
So it was awesome.
So he was the Larry Merchant.
Absolutely.
Of course, had to cop down everything.
He ain't Larry Merchant anyway.
Yeah.
More like Larry Merchandise.
And let me tell everybody, this won't be the last time that this happens. So make sure you stay tuned. That was completely closed to the public, of course, because of everything going on with COVID. There weren't any fans in attendance. But Future Promotions said that they want to do more events down there at the African American Heritage Center. Beautiful
be
building.
careful with this COVID.
Absolutely. On 18th and Muhammad Ali, if you have not been there, wonderful space, beautiful
we will
building.
Be back.
And we will be back. So
and speaking of which, let's go ahead and let's break down this game like real quick.
Yes.
I'll go first.
Okay.
And this is very simple. Louisville has lost every game since Scott Satterfield has been here that we lose the turnover battle. That does not change today. Louisville loses the turnover battle. Number one, because Wake Forest doesn't turn the ball over. Number two, Wake Forest causes turnovers. Louisville loses. In the spirited effort, they keep it close, 24-17, Demon Deacons.
Real, what you think?
They lose.
They lose. I like it. Short and sweet. I think that Louisville's going to go out and give a big effort. The thing that worries me is that Louisville's going to have to score a lot of points because Wake Forest does score. They have a very different type of offense. They have this kind of read option, but also they have the option to pass on every play, so they can run with the quarterback, run with the running back, or pass the ball. It's a very weird setup.
Either the running back or the quarterback.
Right, it's a weird offense, almost like a triple option.
It's like
but the third option is a pass.
Frank Beamer, it's like Beamer ball upgraded.
It is. It's very. But you have to have a great defensive tackle. If you have a great defensive line,
the offense is useless.
The offense is useless. Louisville does not have that. I think they're going to have problems shutting down that offense. I do think that Wake Forest is going to get it done. The fact that Wake Forest is so good at turning the ball over as well as taking care of the ball. It's going to be tough on Louisville today. Give me Wake Forest 35-17.
Oh, wow.
I don't think it's going to be that close. So Wake Forest has scored on Louisville every year for the last, that's the one team that seems to always have it. I mean, even last year, Louisville won the game, but they scored 40-some-odd points to win. And Wake Forest had 30.
And they don't have the offense to do that?
Yeah, so no, I do think
two best players, it's a wrap.
Yeah, I think it's a wrap. But Joe, you have the final word on that?
Yeah, 38-14, 42-14. They're going to get 40. They'll get either 40 or they'll push towards it because we've been giving up points all year. I don't expect the team to come out firing on anything. They don't have a whole lot to play for. And it probably feels like the coach quit on you, too.
Fair.
That's a lot of speculating. I understand. But it's been a lot for them to put up with this year. I don't know how you could be motivated for this game.
Katie, that was a fun comment. I loved it.
Speculation.
Great comment, Katie. Great comment.
There we go.
About Jake Paul getting knocked down.
Yeah, I love it. That's what I was reading.
Okay, baby, I see you said go Cards, but guess what? I don't think they're going nowhere but home today.
Hey, Coy, support your squad. I'm still Louisville all day long.
Hey, my baby support them.
He's the Louisville hater, so you know.
She already know I don't like the Cards. You already know how I feel about that, bro.
What about 2K though? Because basketball season is here.
Yes,
Duke and North Carolina are going down because they both were suspect. I mean, Duke is so bad. Coach K is already like, I'm going to cancel the season because of COVID. Yes. Not because my team sucks, because of COVID. No, your team sucks.
I mean, but
it's on a cancel season.
Louisville's always been a good basketball team.
Basketball school.
Always.
Football, we're trying to get there. But no, I do think Louisville's going to have a great shot at the ACC.
Okay, I know you're a two-time alumni. You ain't got to keep saying that. Wake is going down. Y'all ain't gonna win the football game today.
Hey, everybody, y'all can jump on Rail because he's been a hater all season. We've had to deal with him all football season.
She got to deal with me every day.
So go ahead, keep on, stay on it. Please stay on it. We need all of it.
She know I'm gonna talk my trash. It don't matter. They're going down.
But listen, I want to thank everybody for checking in today. I love all the commentary and the questions. Thank everybody for that, man. We're about to get rolling on here. Cardinals, Wake Forest. We will be back for Louisville basketball. I don't know when the next pregame show was because everybody's sick. So we have no idea when there's going to be an actual game. The November 16th, Cardinals and NC State is the next game on schedule. But we don't even know if that's going to play. North Carolina State is currently on lockdown for COVID. Louisville's just getting back to practice because of COVID. COVID's running rampant on college basketball right now. So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but we will be back. I just want to thank everybody here at FDKY Barbecue for hosting the Main Event Sports all year long. That
sounds like a reasonable school.
For the football season. So just appreciate you guys. Make sure you all come out here, 9606 Taylorsville Road. Please patronize FDKY. The food is outstanding. It is awesome. It is great. Joe Kelly,
the man, the myth, the legend.
Please come to our store. Contribute to the Help Joe Retire One Day Foundation.
Call it ahead of time.
And no, thanks. We got a blast, man.
Absolutely.
You guys,
tell them call ahead of time, man.
Yeah, call ahead. And y'all are welcome to come out here during basketball season. We don't have to have U of L sports to commiserate on if y'all feel like coming out.
Hey, that's a plan, Stan. Chandre, thanks for tuning in. We love you, bro.
Hey, and Haven, like we like to end every show
without any struggle.
There is no progress.
Hey, don't be hating on my Hokies, girl. You know, don't do that. Don't do that.
And if you guys want to watch a replay of this, it'll be on YouTube Live. So go to Main Event Sports Show, type it in YouTube, we'll pop up. You can watch this show over again on our YouTube feed.
I'll see you later, Just Coy.
Hey, we out, y'all.
Peace.